as I follow Christ. And you can look and say, that's great, Pastor. We can kind of factor you out of existence unless you're pointing us to Jesus. That's the proper way to follow. And Paul's saying if you would follow the logic of my letter, you would be people who are following the way of love. I'm going to restate this because I'm so passionate for it. And because I have a dental appointment this coming Wednesday. But I was at my dental office with Dr. Frenzo and Heidi, my hygienist. And I was like, man, all Christians, they all read 1 Corinthians 13 and, there's great wedding ceremonies. But I said, I'm preaching to our people of what that really means. What it means to be loving and not rude and to protect others and care for others and to be patient and to persevere. What it means is Paul's saying, I'm summarizing to you the true way to build the proper marriage and a proper church and a proper friendship and the way to grow in God. Follow the way of love. You see how simple this statement is, but how deeply powerful it is, what Paul's writing? So he's calling us back to love. Who does not want that? Love. Then he says, eagerly desire gifts of the Spirit. And I know I opened with this point about this passion for God and everything he has for us. So we're called first to love, and then to desire the gifts of the Spirit. And this speaks for itself, but I love challenging you. And here it is. And don't visibly respond because I'm never trying to embarrass you. Okay? Do you eagerly desire the gifts of the Spirit? Or do you think you've come to a place in your walk in Christianity where you're good, you're okay, you're equipped, you got what you need from God, and you can go on and live your life for Jesus? Do you have an ongoing passion for the gifts of God? All that God has and he wants to bless you with and give you? Or do you believe I have the gifts that I need and I'm equipped and I'm going to live life the way, to honor God? All right, I know I am weird, period. Thanks, Gretchen, for that laughing, meaning amen. I know I'm weird. And I'm especially weird about this age thing because I love aging for Christ. I'm making a point. In 3 or so months, I turned 52 years young. And it's the most excited, thrilling, passionate time in my entire life. I'm not going to be standing up for you in front of you as long as I'm your pastor, talking about how dreadful it is to get older. I'm alive in Christ. Here's my point about aging, which is going to happen to oldest, youngest to the oldest, okay? Here's my point. At 52 years young, this is the hungriest I've ever been in my life for God. And I want more of God. Specific to this point, eagerly desire gifts of the Spirit, I'm praying, God, if there's a gift you want me to have and I don't have it yet, I want it. I have to be careful on this point because that's why I'm saying, I'm weird, but I'm also real. I can't get enough of God. And as I age, I want more. I want to salivate for God. The Bible says to hunger and thirst after God and after righteousness. So I'm really not all that weird, okay? I want more and more. And how I say, we're a church of 20, 25 people. I thank God that half of our people are young adults. Young adults, this is kind of not even for you, because I notice you tend to have that passion and drive and that hunger. I'm speaking more to, I'm not even going to put numbers on age, okay? Us becoming more seasoned. Is that a good way to put it? Don't lose that hunger. Like eager is this passion, this desperation, this zeal. It's wanting more of God. Family, in human terms, 1 million years into heaven, I am sure I'm going to look at Mark and say, did you see what God just did? I can't believe he just did that. Then the next trillion years, I'm going to look at Elaine and say, how did God do that? Like, you cannot exhaust the bountiful, manifest nature and brilliance and creativity of God. You know, like a church really growing, it's not walking in here on Sunday and saying, look, every seat is taken, the church is full. It's not. It's a people coming in who are committed, and you look around and you see maybe 20, 25 people, and they're saying, you know what? We need to love each other. And those people are saying, let's keep that zeal and that passion for God. And let's get an understanding of why the Bible says prophecy is so important. That's a church conforming to the Word of God. That is a growing church. I'll remind you again, the primary setting for New Testament churches was they were often scattered into just house groups or small groups, and they were given the blueprint for this is who you are to be for the church to grow and be effective. That's what God's doing here as a people. So follow the way of love. Never lose that hunger and thirst for God, especially as we age. I know we're all aging, but never lose that zeal for God. And especially desire the gift of prophecy. So I had to really give myself to this of saying, okay, God, if we're told to desire the gift of prophecy above all, why? I need to know why, God. I need to study this and pray about it because I want to tell your people why that is the case. I know we went through we went through a series on the gifts of the Spirit. But since we're called to seek the gift of prophecy above all, I put the definition in the bulletin again, and I just want to bring that to your attention. So it's in the bulletin. Prophecy, the Greek word for prophecy is prophetia. It's the ability to receive a divinely inspired message and deliver it to others in the church. These messages can take the form of exhortation, correction, disclosure of secret sins, prediction of future events, comfort, inspiration, or other revelations given to equip and edify the body of Christ. Summation, prophecy is to either foretell what's coming in ahead, or just truth tell, just tell the truth. It's foretell or truth tell the will of God based on the Word of God. It's just that simple. It's just saying this is what God wants in your life, and the Word of God proves it. That's why all the time I stand up here, I talk to you plainly, and I always point back. I was like, it's right here in the Word, family. It's right here in the Word. And a quick note about our church. First about me and this church. My primary gift is the gift of prophecy in terms of how I operate, how I'm designed. And I used to wonder why. Why did God give me this as a primary gift until I started studying the Bible? I was like, oh, the Apostle Paul said that's the gift you desire above all other gifts. And in the church this size and this is an awesome family, an awesome community. The primary gift in operation at this church is the gift of prophecy. More than half the people have the gift of prophecy. It sounds like a biblical church to me. I don't know what you think about what I'm saying, but it sounds like a biblical church to me. And still I was wondering why? Why this gift of prophecy? And I was reading through this definition, I was praying about it, and here's just a little insight for you about the effect of the gift of prophecy. Then I'm going to give you an example from this church. Prophecy is the opposite of destruction. It's the opposite of tearing apart something. Prophecy is the opposite of, I'm going to be specific. It's the opposite of a church in the last 2 years that has split and divided. Remember, I told Anna to stop talking because she was sharing about the redwood trees. She was exactly giving you insight about how God wants the people to be. Not fighting and dividing and following after leaders who might leave. That's what Paul's saying. He's saying, desire this so you come together and build and strengthen one another. Prophecy is the opposite of a person who chooses to commit suicide because they lose a sense of vision and life. I'm not making this up. In Proverbs 29, God says, my people perish for lack of a vision. So a person loses a sense of purpose, life, commitment, family, and they end it. Prophecy is exactly the opposite. It's the opposite of someone standing up saying, I don't see any reason of how we can keep going. So let's end it. That's why God gives gifts to bring life. Prophecy is the opposite. I was processing this for you, and I thought it's the opposite of steal, kill, and destroy. Jesus said the stated mission of Satan was to steal, take life, to kill, bring life to an end, and to destroy, to bring about destruction. This has to resonate with you in some way. If not, read the news. You see how rampant theft, death, the end of life, and destruction. You see how rampant it is. So God says, I want you to desire a gift that brings life, purpose, that strengthens people, that gives people a sense of hope. That's why I tell you, family, like, my highest passion in life is knowing God. And I'm like crazy obsessed with this thing of building His church. I'm not discouraged about numbers. I'm encouraged that there's a family committed to this assembly who keep coming out, and we're supporting each other and loving each other. And I'm like, Lord, help me just to build into them. Build them. And I just feel like God's saying, Craig, that's like how I designed the Apostle Paul. Read his writings. Oh, when Jesus was resurrected and how Peter had denied Jesus, and then Peter comes to Jesus and says, Jesus said, Peter, do you love me? And Peter says, Lord, you know I love you. And you know what directive Jesus gives Peter for the rest of Peter's life? Essentially, Jesus says, I've been raised from the dead, and I'm going to give you a directive, Peter, as your directive for the church is feed my sheep. You take care of them. You tend to my lambs. So Peter, the Apostle Peter, is the same way. He got the directive from Jesus just to build the church. The exact opposite of tearing down, causing division, or discontinuing life. Prophecy is the exact opposite of all those things. It's all about just building. So it was 3 or 4 months ago, and we received a financial report about this church. It's a financial update. I'm going to use one person's name, but not the other person's name, because most of you know it. There's no need to use names, except in the way of how we are to be. But we were given an update on the financial status of our church. I will say, work was not the person giving this update. Make that clear. It was not work, okay? The person gave an update. Here are the finances. They look kind of bleak. And they summarized the report on finances by saying this. They said, I don't see any way this church can continue its operations. And I kind of stood up immediately saying, wow, that feels like a death blow to me. This is not about me. It's not about the person. It's about one of you. One of our members here has a strong prophetic gift. And I want you to hear this gift of prophecy in operation for this church, okay? So the report was given. It doesn't seem like there's any way this church can continue its operation. And then Gretchen exercised the gift of prophecy. So what Gretchen said was, I've experienced God's personal provision in my life through these various jobs she works and things like that, and God has provided for me. And she said, God is faithful. And then she took her personal experience with God and then imposed it upon the church. She said, I believe in light of that God will provide for this church. And God can sustain this church. And she said, I think we should press on by faith that God will provide for this church. That's prophecy. Last I checked, we weren't closing our doors. We didn't discontinue operation. We're trying as best we can to press on, to support one another, to love each other. And this church is being strengthened.